So good to meet you. Thank you so much for taking a minute out for the program today.
Thank you, and Happy New Year to you. Thank you
Yes.
for being persistent and putting up while I was getting my beginning of the new year started. Thank you.
It's all good. Yeah, we were just going through the tech burps, so to speak. So we're here. We're good. So first question is this: about 5.5 years ago, this pandemic changed our lives. How did you get through that era, and how has it changed the way that you do business today?
Great question. Most people were affected financially, and they didn't have an avenue to speak to somebody because most people like to go down and talk to Joe Smith at wherever, or they would be, people crave a personal attention, especially when it deals with something as important as their money.
Yeah.
And that had changed dramatically because you couldn't go down and see anybody and talk about your money. And then it started to loosen up where people could. Then it was, the Zoom, FaceTimes and the phone calls, but it just loses some of the specialness of working with a client that's worked their whole life because, hey, their money is special to them.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get into exactly what you do as an author and as a money guy. I want to know this. If I put you in front of a bunch of 12-year-olds right now at career day and one of the kids wanted to know what you do for a living, how do you answer that child?
I tell them one of the things that's going to be apparent in your life as you get older, and maybe you've seen it now, maybe your folks have you do chores in exchange for an allowance, is money. And so, what my basis has always been about is teaching everybody from every age how to keep more of the money that they earn. The money that you receive now from mom or dad or your grandpa usually goes into your right front pocket. Maybe you got a bank account. That's great if you do. But as you get older, there's something that's going to happen. People are going to want to start to have little pieces of your money, and that someone is Uncle Sam or the state in which you live. There's something called taxes. And maybe you've heard your parents mutter under their breath, let's just say, not the most kind words about governments and taxes. But that's unfortunately the reality. It's the price you have to pay to have all the wonderful things that you have now, which is freedom, freedom of speech, your iPad, your iPod, your everything else that you have. There's a price to be able to have that kind of freedom. And taxes go to help make sure you can continue that lifestyle safely and in the comfort of your own home with those people you care about.
What did you want to be when you were a kid? When you were 12 years old, what was your dream job?
Came from a family of teachers, and I did not want to be a teacher. And that's what I'm doing. I'm teaching people about money. But actually, I always thought it was very cool. I grew up in the 60s, and the thought was I wanted to be like a little mom and pop store owner out there in front, sweeping off my sidewalk and stacking my shelves and having that kind of life, setting my hours. And I did that, but then I started to have bigger dreams. And it was more about making more money to have a better lifestyle. I grew up in a town that was very blessed per capita for a lot of very wealthy people. We weren't one of them. It's a big agriculture town and a lot of big commercial farmers that farm for Campbell's, Vandekamps, all the big vegetable companies. And then just down the road was where they make Winnebago motorhomes, and all the executives lived there as well. So there was an awful lot of and there still is, an awful lot of very, very rich people in my town. And we weren't one of them. We were teachers. And we were at the lower bin. And you see these kids get in their new cars at 18, a Corvette. Ooh. And, they see that we can never have that. But I wanted it.
Yeah.
So the only way I was going to get it was to work hard. And then I learned harder I worked, gosh, I'd have to pay those things called taxes. And I've always been the guy that always looks for ways to skin the cat, so to speak. And what that usually turned out to be was finding the exclusions that you can use for the benefit of you and your family instead of at the expense of them. to be able to have a better quality of life, keep more of what you earn. And that's what set me on the path of the financial services route, to be able to legally screw the government with their own laws. And there's ways to do it. And that's what my book talks about. And that goes into taking you hand in hand, walking you down the road to get to the zero tax bracket because you can do it. And that's the best thing. Because right now, let me ask you a question. In 6 years and 42 days, what's the tax rate going to be?
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, you got me.
Everybody else, I got them too.
Yeah,
No one knows. So why in the world would you want to be able to submit yourself to an unknown variable like that? When would you ever want to pay more for something you could have got for less?
yeah, right.
And that's now. The whole time you've been alive, taxes have never been this low. Same with me. So why not bite the bullet, dance with the devil you know, get those taxes out of there. By that I mean your IRA, your 401k, other monies that you have, what is called qualified plans, and convert it while you can at the lowest rates possible and put them into vehicles that are going to be tax-free and earning high rates of return tax-free. So then when you choose to retire and that money you take out does not affect your Social Security, because if you earn too much, it does. And that's, again, all the areas that I cover in my book. That, there you go. That people are not aware of. I'm 67.
Yeah,
When I grew up, I was taught and told and beat into my head the same things that I'm sure you have and all of your listeners have, which is the complete wrong advice. And that is work hard. Yep. Stuff your IRA, stuff your 401k, maximize, 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 whatever you can. Put that away and then defer that money out there until you retire. Total wrong answer. Total worst thing you could possibly do. Because again, in 6 years and 42 days, what's the tax rate going to be? You don't know.
yeah,
All you do know is that there's large unfunded obligations out there by the government, and that's going to have to get paid from who? Not them, you.
yeah,
So you take control of your life now by doing the things that are important for your financial future, which is A, grab my book,
yeah,
B, read it, and C, apply it to your life. At the back of the book, I have my email address. You can reach out to me. If you want me to work with you, I'm happy to do it. I don't even charge. But it's something that you need to do, and I mean NOW now, because you're not going to have this chance again in the future. You need to be able to take control of something as important as the future and your financial future. You know, there is a tax train coming. It has to. One of the things I address in my book is right now, think about it. For every $1 the United States government takes in, 95 cents of that $1, according to the Congressional Budget Office, 95 cents of that $1 only goes to three areas. Three: Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and interest on the national debt.
yeah,
That's it. So what that really means is this: the entire US government, the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, the Navy, the Forest Service, every branch of every government, everything you see that's a government, the IRS for that matter, every branch of all of the government out there, and all the people that are in retirement from the government with government funded pensions are being paid with 5 cents.
wow,
How could you run your business or your house on 5 cents?
right.
That's why there is going to be a reckoning.
Yeah,
There is going to be taxes always. No matter how wonderful the tariffs are and they're reducing that, there's still so much out there. There's
yeah,
still so much debt and unfunded liabilities. I talk at length about Social Security. It's when it's supposed to be insolvent. And Medicare is supposed to be insolvent 5 years after that. These are all things that no one talks about. You've never been taught about it. I was never taught about it. I had to go out and learn this and specialize in this area for my clients.
It isn't the operating logic of getting to a better place financially not so much about making more, but being smarter about the rules, regulations, and how you allocate your money. I mean, it's good to make more money, but it's all about being smarter. When it comes to guys like you, and I remember Matthew Lesko used to be on TV when I was a kid in the question mark jackets, and
Yep,
I
yep,
hear
yep.
right, and I hear all of these minds, like all of the people out there that talk money, and all I ever get when I siphon all of that gold down into that little basket. It's all about being smarter about what you take in because the more you make, the more you're going to get taxed. So be smart about what you're doing, right?
It's easier said this way. It's not about what you make, it's what you keep.
Gotcha.
And I've had people that have made $1 million a year, but they're spending 940,000 of it
Yeah. Yeah.
on homes, cars, trips, planes, dinners, whatever. And I've had guys that make 150,000 a year that are better off than the guys that earn the $1 million.
Gotcha.
So it's about what you keep. And that's what I address in my book. Zero is your hero and why you need to get to the zero tax bracket. And this will take you by the hand. And I'll tell you the most important thing about this. I get so many people reach out and say, your book is such an easy read. And that's what it's designed to do. I don't know if I can say this on your show or not, but I
Yeah.
pretty much piss off 95% of the financial advisors out there because I lay bare at the very first, not even in the chapters, but in the preface and the forward. I say, look, everything you've learned is wrong.
Yeah.
Everything you've been told your financial advisor is wrong. Here's why. And I am more than happy to discuss with them and you on a phone call at any time and prove them and why you should listen more, read my book, listen to what I'm trying to share with you. And the biggest problem, here's the biggest hot word right now, and it's another chapter in my book. The biggest buzzwords right now is, oh, they're a fiduciary. Oh, we're a fiduciary. It means
Yeah.
we take care of your money.
Yeah.
You've heard that before,
Oh,
right?
I'll ad infinitum.
It is such a BS word. It's not even funny. Let me tell you what's happening right now. For the first time in ever, fiduciaries are starting to be sued
Wow.
personally and their firms. And it's not that they didn't take care of the money. Families are suing the financial advisor because they took care of the money, they didn't lose, but what they didn't do is take care of the person that
Yep.
earned the money. In okay, when you turn my age, 67, there's a very strong chance. By that, I mean over 70% chance that within 3 years, you're going to be in some sort of, or I'm going to be some type of skilled nursing facility or needing regular care. Medicare, Medicaid only covers 90 days at the most, generally 60. How many people do you know that have long-term care insurance? Let me help you out.
Yeah.
Do you? Do your
Ah,
folks?
yeah, right. I don't believe I do.
Exactly. Because it didn't make sense. And it's not something, especially you're, well, you'll take care of me, and that's what so many kids are doing is taking care of their parents. That is the biggest concern that seniors are going to be facing is some sort of long-term care costs. So I ask you this, you don't have insurance. They think that Medicare or Medicaid is going to cover it. It doesn't. It says it right on it.
Yeah.
So let's say you're lucky and you get 90 days. What happens on 91st day? You know how much long-term care costs cost?
Oh man, it's crazy.
It's anywhere in the cheaper areas and the lower level of care, 5,000 a month to as much as 20, $22,000 a month.
For sure.
Now that has to come from who? You and your right front pocket. So the question I ask people, and I ask in my book, what asset are you going to sell first?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to that, I mean, a lot of people don't have a lot of assets. You got cars and homes.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
it.
so let's talk about your home. Sure, the government will take care of you. Sure, they'll put you in a home. Sure, they'll have somebody take care of you, and that, comes under the Medicare Medicaid program. But there's also something called the State Recovery Act, whereas the state will take care of you, but they come in and they lien your home automatically. I don't care if you got a trust. The state's going to take it. They're going to put their name on first. So the kids are going to get.
You're right.
I talk in my book about my stepfather's mom. She had Alzheimer's, one of the bad ones. You can live for years and years, like Nancy Reagan lived over 8 years with
For
it.
sure.
She had to become a ward of the state. She lost a farm that had been in their family 121 years. Gone. Legacies are going to be torn apart because people haven't been taken care of, advised on what to do, how to do it correctly. And all this could be avoided. In my book,
Yeah.
I'll show you how you get it for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can show you how you get this coverage for free
Yeah.
and earn a great rate of return.
Let me ask you this. Who's your financial hero? Who do you look up to? Who does a good job of
Me.
this? Who?
Me.
So let me ask you this. What was the first big purchase that you made in your life? Like when you got a little liquidity or you got a big paycheck, did you go out and get something that you really wanted bad? Like when you were younger?
When I was younger, yeah. When I was younger, I worked extremely hard. I actually was still living at home, and I paid cash for a Corvette convertible,
Wow.
and I I wanted it just because it made me feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, I made more money in high school than my parents did, working three different revenue streams. And I mean, they were teachers, and in the Midwest, I'm from Iowa. They don't make a lot of money. And I was blessed. Yeah, I didn't pay rent. I was, 17, 18 years old, living at home, getting ready to go to college. And here, oh yeah, here's a 69 Corvette convertible.
That's awesome.
So I did, yeah. And I had always put money away,
Yeah.
and I'd always looked for the best avenues to be able to do that. And I was taught the responsibility of money. Money only does one thing. People go, no, I can do a lot of things. No, money does one thing. It provides you choices.
Yeah.
And how you choose to do things with your money is the important thing I hope people take away from our conversation together.
Yeah.
And I do hope they go to Amazon or Barnes and Noble or whatever. This book has been changing people's lives.
Yeah.
Everyone that's bought it, that's a parent or a grandparent, I get emails and they said it was such an easy read. And I'm buying five more copies to give to my kids and my grandkids because this is information that I was never taught and I know they're not being taught. And it needs to become like a workbook for people.
Yeah.
There are financial books out there, there's no doubt about that. But this particular book covers a whole gamut of things that no one's ever briefly spoken about or touched at all. It is completely different than any other financial book out there. It's not about stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. It's not about any of that kind of stuff at all. It's about making sure that you're responsible to yourself for your future. Because between now and the time that you choose to retire, there's only three things that are going to happen. One of three things are going to happen. One, you die. You get hit by a bus, heart attack, whatever. What happens then? People don't think about that. I'll tell you about it. Second thing is you become sick, hurt, or disabled to the point where you can't work. Maybe you do have a stroke. Maybe you are in some kind of skilled facility. Maybe they're feeding you with a baby food spoon. I've literally had people when I've gone through plans with them. A guy walked into the other room, came back out, and he had a bullet and set it on the table. He goes, "That's my exit plan." And I go, "What if you're in a wheelchair and you can't do that?" "Well, I'll have my son do that for me." I go, "Really?
Yeah.
Do you think your son is going to blow your brains out
Yeah.
or your daughter?"
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
No.
So why don't we do it another way?
Yeah.
So die, sick, hurt, or disabled. Or the third thing, you live.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
What do you got for money? Where's the money? How is the money you have and you're going to start taking going to affect the rest of your life? The distribution phase is the biggest phase, is learning how. It's accumulation, preservation, distribution. That's the three phases of money. That's what I talk about in the book as well. But the distribution phase, let's say you've been working hard your whole life, which you have obviously, and you plan on getting Social Security. Well, Social Security ranges from between about $1,800 a month to a high of about $3,000 a month for the best Americans out there. Your $3,000 a month, let's just say it's 2,800, okay? You get that 2,800 every month, okay? At the end of the year, that's almost $40,000. Now you're married. Your wife's making, let's pick a number, $25,000 a year, 30,000 a year. Well, now you combine those together, you're over 70,000. Do you realize that that puts you in a different tax bracket now? It's called provisional income, where they can now tax your Social Security up to 85% of it.
Wow.
Taxed at high regular income tax rates. People think, well, I'm going to have less, I'll have less taxes when I retire. No, you don't. People,
Right.
that's the other big lie that's
Yeah.
told out
No.
there by these idiots in the financial sector out there.
Yeah.
You lose your deductions. Your biggest deduction is usually your mortgage, right?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you're living in your house free and clear by that time.
Yeah.
Your next biggest deduction are children.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're not living at home with you unless something bad's happened. The other big deduction is charities. Well, they've changed the law on contributing to charities. And when you get older or you're on a fixed income, guess what? You'll give less money. You'll want to give more of you.
Yeah.
You'll want to go serve maybe at your church or some charity and help spoon. You can't deduct that.
Yeah.
So you've lost all of your big deductions that you had. And at over age 70, you're not going to be able to have the business deductions.
Yeah.
There is just so much that people aren't told.
Yep.
And as I said, this book is written, I hate to say it this way, but almost at a 12-year-old or a fifth grade level.
Yeah.
So everyone can understand it. There's
Yep.
no confusing financial talk or lingo or graphs and charts. If you start talking about financial stuff, most people's eyes start to glaze over in their head.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not that. This is very easy for everyone to understand. And it's the things that they do need to understand. I mean, the whole time we've been talking, you're doing this with me already.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is resonating with you. You've
Sure.
never heard it before,
Yep.
and you've not addressed it in your own life.
Absolutely.
Not being rude,
No,
just
I
the way
get
it
it.
is.
Yeah. So, of everything that you've done and accomplished and evolved to at this point in your life, what are you the proudest of?
The people that I've served,
Yeah.
I got stories that just, God, kind of tears me up, actually. I've given 762 live speaking engagements in 35 different states. I was on the radio for over 10 years, 5 days a week, where people would call in on a show called Wall Street Meets Main Street. And they would call in and we would talk about things. And I've got tapes still of, it tears me up, little old ladies that would call in and say, "Well, I'm on a very tight budget. When toilet paper goes on sale, how much should I buy?" That's how tight their budget was.
Wow.
I've gone to people's homes and little old lady again was living on cat food, but she had 5 million in CDs.
Yeah.
She just was afraid. She was a child of the depression. She was afraid to spend it. not knowing what she'd have next. So what I'm proud of is I've been able to make a difference in people's lives. I've been able to show them there's things that they can do. 90% of the people I've worked with are parents or grandparents. And they say, well, I want to leave the house to the children. And I go, okay, are they all going to move back in? You've got two or three kids. You think them and all their families are going to live here?
Yeah, right.
So it just, you have to be able to get to the understanding to help them do what they want to do, but understand why it has to be done differently now.
Yeah,
Chapter 8 of my book, people say, your book doesn't have normal chapters. Chapter 8 is called I Just Want to Go Fishing. And that's actually a client of mine, Bob, who is in California. I don't want to spoil it. It's one of my most favorite stories. It's one of my real heartfelt stories. There's so many of them. The whole book actually is about clients that I've served.
yeah,
And that's what I'm most proud of, is I've made a difference in people's lives. This book is changing people's lives that they read it because they go, I never knew that. This is something I need to do. This is something my advisor never told me. And I tell them in the book, I write it more than one place. I say, if you're not hearing my voice inside of your head when you're reading this and you're talking to your advisor, get a new advisor.
yeah, yeah,
And if they haven't told you this before, get a new advisor because they've had 10 years to talk to you about it.
yeah, yeah,
And you can reach out to me. I'm accessible. My email's in the back.
yeah. So let me ask you this. At the end of the day, Lance, everyone has a perception of you. Family, friends, clients, everyone that gets your book, all the lives you change, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Hmm. That's a good one. I haven't been asked that. Uh, I think I heard it best that said, when you die, that if there's five people around your casket, you've been a success. I think I'll have a lot more than that,
Yeah,
both people and friends and family. I don't have that big of a family, but I do have that big of a family group of friends. I call them family. I think I'm somebody that was blessed and born into the Midwest where hard work and good values and ethics meant something. And I've carried that in my life. And I try to share it with everybody I can. And when I have something that can benefit others, I'm not going to keep it for me. People for so many years, I've been in this industry 40 years, financial services. And people ask me, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? I say, well, if you want to make an appointment, let's talk. They go, "Well, just tell me about this." So I said, you know what? I'm just going to write a book.
yeah,
So I wrote a book and I put it all in here, and it's right here.
that's it.
And you can get an ebook, you can get a regular book, you can get a hard copy book,
Absolutely.
and it's that simple. But it's something that you have to read with purpose and intent. It's not a novel. You don't read it like a novel.
Sure,
You will read this. I encourage you strongly. And if you want, let me know. I'll send you a copy.
sure.
But you have to be able to read it, look at it, and then you go on, you go, wait a minute, and then you'll go back. It's almost like a workbook in the sense that something will click at some point of your life that this will trigger something, and you'll want to go back to look at it because it's extremely comprehensive and things that you told yourself you should be doing or share with others. But I'm proud of the fact that, be proud of who you are and where you come from. Try to help others along the way. I try to share what I have. I work with people. I don't care whether you've got 10,000 in the bank or 10 million. I've worked with all of them. It's about literally doing the right thing and people sharing that information. Don't get sucked into the Merrill Lynch, the Schwabs, the Morgans, all these people. Every channel you turn on, every magazine you open has 85 commercials from them. Do they do it for free? Are they doing that out of the goodness of their heart?
No.
No. It's coming from your fees.
Yeah.
It's coming from the no load mutual funds. There's no such thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's fees and all of that.
Yep.
So do yourself a favor. Invest. If I told somebody right now, if you give me 16 bucks and it would make a difference in your life for the rest of your life, would you give me it?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
That's it. Yeah.
Invest in your life, in your future.
Totally.
This will take you by the hand. At the back has a full question and answer thing. If you still have questions, email me.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to chat with you. If you want me to work with you, I'm happy to do that. I don't even charge.
So Zero is your hero. If you want to hold it up one more time, it's all at all the major booksellers, Amazon, all the way through. Correct?
Barnes and Noble, Google Books. Yeah,
Everywhere.
it's got a little cartoony thing on the front,
Yeah. Yeah.
big zero there.
Yes. That's the hero. I love it.
And then, so what did you think of the trailer? Because you did watch it.
I love it. I mean, what you're doing is it's revolutionary, and I think people get so. I talk to coaches and I talk to advisors and so many people. We all get so caught up in our lives and we think so many things are highbrow or we just don't put the time into it. It's like learning an instrument. There's nothing more important than the money that we're going to have when as we get older and in all of these other pursuits. And it's all about being smarter about it. It's about just knowing what exists out there. And I think there's a lot of people that just don't. And I think what you're doing is tapping into a brilliance that people can have themselves. It's totally plausible. It's right there,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah,
It's not about me. It's about helping you
sure.
be a better you, which helps me, of course, too. And
Yeah,
then you are going to say, "Wow, I talked to this dude Lance, and he opened my eyes to things
yeah,
that I've never heard of, but it makes so much sense.
absolutely.
You
And
should reach out to him. He'll do it for free.
yeah, and that's what I
Here's
love
his
about.
email.
Yeah, that's what I love about this realm of podcasting. Getting out and shouting this from the mountaintop because that's the way I feel. These are eureka moments. These are big
Yep.
moments. There's wonderful people that are doing it for the right reasons, and we should celebrate that. We should do it and diversify and be smarter about what we're doing in life.
Yep.
You know?
You're going to love that. I do hope one way or another you get my book. And the word
Yeah.
you just said, diversify, I want you to remember chapter 8.
Okay. And that's the big chapter. So what